This is the news on Honor 103.5 FM. Honor FM News, accurate, transparent, undiluted. We go deep. We bring you the news behind the news. Honor FM News. If it's new, then it's news.
Good afternoon, welcome to the World News at Noon on Honor 103.5 FM. I am Timitokwe Dada. And the news this afternoon, President Tinubu seeks media backing on tax reforms. Senate proposes foreign currency ban for local transactions. On the foreign scene, 14 dies as Vanuatu searches for earthquake survivors. In business, Kiyama suggests government officials, contractors fly only Nigerian airlines. In entertainment, Megan Thee Stallion seeks restraining order on Tory learners. And sports, Vinicius Bonmati win FIFA Best Players of the Year. Now the news in detail. President Bola Tinubu has urged the media to support his administration's proposed tax reforms, describing them as a critical step towards building enduring national wealth and prosperity for all Nigerians. President Tinubu stated this through the Minister of Information and National Orientation at the 2024 Nigerian Merit Awards in Lagos that opinions may differ on the details of the proposed tax reforms. However, there is a national consensus on the need for a complete overhaul of the current tax administration system. It said the overall objectives of the reforms being implemented under the Renewed Hope agenda, including subsidy removal, unification of multiple exchange rates and tax restructuring, were well thought, bold but necessary steps designed to free resources and redirect them towards economic growth, infrastructural development, and human capital advancement. Also in the news this afternoon, the Senate on Tuesday passed for first reading a bill to ban the use of foreign currencies for payment and transactions within Nigeria. The proposed legislation aimed at ensuring all payments, including salaries and transactions, are conducted in Naira, seeks to eliminate discriminatory practices and strengthen confidence in the local currency. This includes making it mandatory for exports to be paid for in Naira. The bill, sponsored by Senator Ned Nwoko, who is the chairman of the Senate Committee on Reparations and Repatriation, also proposed that crude oil and other exports be sold exclusively in Naira, compelling international buyers to purchase the currency and driving its demand and value. Moving on to the foreign scene, Russia's security service says a 29-year-old man from Uzbekistan has been detained over the killing of the senior general Igor Kirillov and his assistant in Moscow. Lieutenant General Kirillov, head of Radiation, Chemical and Biological Protection Forces, was outside a residential block early on Tuesday when an explosive device hidden in a squatter was detonated remotely. The Russian security service said the unnamed suspect was recruited by Ukrainian intelligence, according to newsmen. Ukraine's security service had already claimed it was behind the killing. The Russian Federal Security Service Public Relations Center said on Wednesday the detained 29-year-old was suspected of committing a terrorist act. A statement said that during interrogation, he explained he was recruited by the Ukrainian Special Services. Moving on to the news coming from Malaysia this afternoon, Malaysia's foreign minister will be issued a fine for puffing a cigarette in a non-smoking area as released by the country's health minister on Wednesday. Health Minister Zulkifli Ahmed earlier this week reposted a photo of the Foreign Minister Mohammed Hassan smoking at a street-side eatery in the Malaysian state of Negari. Meanwhile, smoking in all eateries and restaurants were declared illegal in Malaysia in 2019, and further strict measures were introduced in October this year. And under Malaysian law, people caught smoking in prohibited areas could face a fine up to 5,000 ringgit. However, Mohammed apologized on Wednesday and said he had received a violation notice from health authorities, but that the fine amount would not yet be determined. Likewise, still on the international news this afternoon, the death toll from earthquake that struck Vanuatu on Tuesday has risen to 14 as search teams claw through piles of rubble in an attempt to locate survivors. 200 others are being treated for injuries, with powerful aftershocks from the 7.3 magnitude tremor reported overnight. Meanwhile, the earthquake damaged buildings, including the embassies of the US, France, the UK, and New Zealand. It also cut power and mobile services. Vanuatu police have now confirmed that a 7-day state of emergency has been declared to limit the movement of the public while search and relief operations are underway. If you are just joining us, you're listening to the World News on 103.5 FM Ibadan. Do not forget to follow us on all our social media handles at 103.5 FM, and you can also listen to us live on the Radio Garden app at Ono FM Ibadan. Now to the business report. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has assured that the Fly Nigeria Act will transform into law under his watch. The minister lamented that the document, which is expected to make it mandatory for government-financed air transportation of government personnel, contractors, grantees and properties to be carried by Nigerian air flag carriers, has yet to materialize more than 15 years after it was first proposed. Speaking at a one-day stakeholders engagement on the legal framework for the Fly Nigeria Bill and related enabling legislation in Abuja, Keyamo said he would rally all the major stakeholders to push for the bill to be signed into law. In entertainment news for this afternoon, Megan Thee Stallion has asked a court on Tuesday to issue a restraining order against Tory Lanez, who she says is harassing her from prison through surrogates as he serves a 10-year sentence for shooting her in the feet. The petition filed by the hip-hop star in Los Angeles, Superior Court asked the juror to prevent the Canadian rapper Lanez, whose legal name is Daystar Peterson, from using third parties to continue the same online harassment of Megan that he engaged in and encouraged before his imprisonment. However, the filing says bloggers acting on Lanez's behalf continue to cast doubt on the allegations, making false claims including that gun and bullet fragments in the case are missing. And finally, in sports, Real Madrid attacker Vinicius Jr. won the FIFA Best Men's Player of the Year award at the ceremony in Doha on Tuesday, while Barcelona midfielder Aitana Bonmati picked up the women's prize for the second time. The award comes 2 months after 24-year-old Vinicius was second in the Ballon d'Or, with Real electing to snub the ceremony when they found out beforehand that Manchester City midfielder Rodri was set to win the trophy. But the Brazilian was this time on hand to collect the prize in person, as he is in Qatar with his club ahead of the International Cup final clash with Mexico's Pachuca on Wednesday. Vinicius now succeeds Lionel Messi as the FIFA Best Men's Player after the Argentinian scooped up the last 2 editions of the award. That'll be all for now on the World News at noon on 103.5 FM. Before we go, here is a recap of the major stories. On the national news today, we informed you that President Tinubu is seeking media backing on tax reforms. Also on the foreign scene, 14 people have died as Vanuatu searches for more earthquake survivors. In business, Kayamo has suggested that government officials and contractors fly only Nigerian airlines. While in entertainment, Megan Thee Stallion is seeking restraining order on Tory Lanez. Finally in sport, Vinicius Bomanti are now FIFA Best Players of the Year. For eyewitness reports, news mentions and news commercials, contact the Honor FM newsroom on 0817-675-5555 or 0913-600-1035. You can also visit our website at www.honorfm1035.net for more information. The news is compiled by Duni Daudu and edited by Anuoluwapo Idowu. I am Timito Kwadada. Thanks for listening.
And that was the news on Honor